everyone. Welcome to Tables for Two. I'm Onezie.
And I'm the Elusive Bigfoot. Today we are going to be giving you our 5 picks around top strategy games, things that have minimal luck. And so when I think of that, for me, whenever I'm rolling dice to do something that has a lot of luck involved, or if I have to pull a lot of cards to create a hand, that's still a bit of luck. How did you approach it?
The same. So minimal luck. I thought of minimal luck,
Mm-hmm.
but another way of saying that is maximum strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to point out that we sort of limited this to the games that we own. There are
Or played.
There are plenty of games that we haven't
Sure.
done that are strategy games.
Right. And we're not listing all the games that we think are that. It's just 5 of them that, we enjoy because it's more strategy based. I have at least one that is more of a gateway style, more family friendly, but we're going to talk about that as we go on.
All right.
All right. Would you like to start with one of yours?
I will start with one of mine,
Mm-hmm.
which is, we'll start simple since you mentioned gateways.
All right, cool.
Blockus.
Blockus, sometimes known as Blockus.
Blockus. Blockus. You have a certain number of pieces. You have a certain number of squares on the grid.
Mm-hmm.
You choose where to put them.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is choosing for you.
Mm-hmm.
You might consider there to be a little bit of luck because, I wanted to go there, but somebody else went there. I got unlucky. But you're both strategizing. Mm-hmm. So although it's a simple game, the rules are simple, the play is simple, there's not a lot of luck involved. You choose what to do and you live with the consequences of your choices.
Okay. I like that. That is a fun game. One of the ones that I want to mention is a game that's called Set. It is a game where you have a grid of, I think it's 12 cards.
Some cards
on a tableau. You deal out some cards. And then what you're looking for is one of two things. Either something that has 2 aspects that match, whether it's color and shape or color and texture print, could be different things, or you're looking where there is nothing that is similar on these cards. And whoever sees it first will call set, and you grab those cards, and that becomes one of your groupings, and you're looking to see who has the most sets of, groupings. And so when I know that when I play, I call it set, not set, because I call it set. Wait, not set. So, okay, set. It's actually set. No, it is not set. Not set. Not set.
Darn it. No.
No, it's not. And then if nobody sees anything, you get to throw out 3 more cards. But I mean, eventually, especially by the time you add 2 more rows, you see something.
Yeah, I'll point out, I like that game, and there's not a lot of luck in it, but there's also not a lot of strategy in it.
It's observation.
It's maximum perception.
Sure.
Not maximum strategy. So
right.
If you have good perception,
yes,
you'll be good at set.
Yes, and where I find the strategy will come in is kind of what you're saying, is to see the perception and see what is it that you're waiting to see come up, and that will make a set, and then being the first one to call that.
So sort of looking ahead a little bit.
Looking ahead, that is the strategy of that particular game.
All right, the next one on my list is a game that's a little bit newer for us in the last year or so. Is Mille Fiore.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying that right. But one of the things I like about Mille Fiore is there are lots of ways to win. So you don't need to get lucky. If you're not doing well at one part of the game, you can focus on a different part of the game. And I'm not going to get my points by collecting this set. I'm going to get my points by moving my ship along the river. I'm going to get my points in question marks, whatever. There's a question mark track. I forget what it represents, but there's a question mark track.
There's a question mark track. So the game is that you're like, I think it's you're Portuguese glassmakers, and you're covering these little plastic diamond-shaped tiles over different groupings that you have. And you can either choose whether it's going to be certain shapes that you need to collect, or things that have a picture of a ship and you move your ship along the board and you get points that way, or you have groupings of 3 of a kind or certain things and it moves you along a different type of track. So it is a beautiful game to look at. A lot of fun.
Yeah, so Millefiore, there's a little bit of luck involved in that there are cards involved,
Yeah.
and you get to choose from cards that are exposed, like flipped cards. But I still consider it to be minimal luck. It's
Okay.
mostly based on your choices.
All right.
You get what you choose. I
You
like
get
that.
what you choose.
I like that in a game.
All right. My next game that I'm going to talk about is Micro Macro Crime City. And I know that there's two, and I'm guessing they play the same way, but I've only played the Crime City one. In this game, you have a huge black and white picture. It's almost like a Where's Waldo. Everything is very minuscule, but it's all in black and white. It's probably as big as this game table. And what you're looking for is they'll give you a problem, like who stole this person's hat, and you're looking on this entire picture of pictures to figure out the solution to the puzzle that they give you. So sometimes it's like who stole this or who did that. What you're looking for is to piece together the entire story amongst this immense picture. A lot of fun, it's a lot of observation. It is a great family-friendly game too.
Yeah, you get to hunt for things on the map.
Hunt for things on the map.
Kind of a Where's Waldo sort of vibe to it.
And the things that the clues are not necessarily next to each other. It could be that something starts over in this quadrant, moves over to this quadrant. So you're really looking together as a team, very cooperative, see if you can resolve the story.
Minimal luck. All right. The next one on my list is Agricola.
Oh, Agricola.
Agricola?
Agricola.
Agricola?
Agricola.
Agricola, farming game.
Like agriculture.
It's a farming game. There's a little bit of luck in that there are a couple of action cards. You get to base what you're doing on your action cards, but you're choosing what to focus on in your farm and how to get there. I think there's 14 turns or something like that you have to maximize the benefit of your farm. How you do that is up to you. Some people might focus more on the animals. Some people might focus more on the gardens or growing your family. So you can get more people to help if you have a bigger family, I think. And so Agricola is on my choice for minimal luck.
Agricola. It's definitely a classic game. All right, my next one that I'm going to bring up is there are a lot of games that are like figure out the puzzle. There's Exit, there's Time Stories, but the one I'm going to talk about is Chronicles of Crime. In Chronicles of Crime, you are looking through either your phone or these goggles in order to see an entire crime scene. And in seeing that, you say the different clues and the different observations that you make. You piece things together, and if you piece the right things together, if you really do figure out where to go next, you get to uncover new pieces, new places, locations to discover, people to talk to. If you don't, as we have found out, then you're going to lose the game. But it's a lot of fun, and they have many different stories. It's by Lucky Duck. It's Chronicles of Crime.
Chronicles of Crime is great. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay.
All right, we're getting further down the list now. The next one on my list is Architects of the West Kingdom. Okay. So this is like a worker placement kind of game. And you're trying to be the one to build the best civilization. And you choose where to put your worker to get your resources. Are you going to work on the cathedral, I guess it is, or are you going to send your workers out to gather wood or ore, or are you going to gather your workers away from where they've been imprisoned in the guard tower, something like that. Architects of the West Kingdom, it's a fun game. If you feel like you're diving into it and you haven't gotten very far on developing the cathedral, you could just go the other way and say, I'm not going to be a very virtuous person. I'm going to do all this stuff at the black market to get money and goods and speed my game along. You know, there are different ways to win. So if you feel like you're unlucky in one area, you can just focus on another area. That's my pick, Architects of the West Kingdom.
I love that game. It's a good one. All right, the next one that I have on my list is a game that we've mentioned several times on our top 5, and it is Decorum.
Oh, I like that game.
Decorum is a game that has minimal communication, and they call it the passive aggressive game, the passive aggressive co-op game, because it is cooperative.
That's true.
They give you a goal. Every player has a goal, and they have to satisfy those items on their own card that are hidden from your other players. And you're either changing the color of the wall paint, or you're changing the decorations, or you're putting in a lamp, but you have certain requirements you need to make. At the same time, your partners or the other players also have their own requirements. And at one point, you get to share a bit of knowledge. Like, why do you keep changing that to green? I need that to be green. And maybe yours is because nothing on the top floor can be green. Mine only said it can't be a cool color. Okay, well, I'm going to make it blue then. If I make it blue, will that satisfy? Maybe that'll satisfy, but you don't exactly know till the very end what all the rules were that your other partner had. But there is always a solution, because sometimes we'll play it and we can't quite figure out how do we make this work. And so I think there's been only 2 games that we've actually lost where we just said, okay, we can't do this. And we put all the cards on the table and we'll figure out how do you make it work.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like real life too. So
It's true.
you might not want, I don't want any pets in the kitchen,
It's true.
say, and then but you might, be in love with your dog and he needs to live downstairs. Okay, but he needs to live in a room that's different than the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he can live in the foyer instead.
Yes.
Something
That's
like that.
right.
So decorum.
Decorum. Okay, and so I think our last picks now are going to be our number 1 pick.
Our number 1 pick, and I thought about when I was doing this list, a lot of them were kind of random over which one was the most lucky or the least lucky, or the met the requirements of our list.
Yeah, and it's not that there's 100% no luck involved.
Right, and in addition to me loving this final game that I'm about to tell you about, the more I think about it, there's no luck involved in it at all, and yet it's super fun, and that's First Rat.
Okay.
So the thing about First Rat is you play a group of rats, and you're trying to be the first rats to get to the moon because of course it's made of cheese. So you're building a rocket and doing all kinds of stuff, collecting things from the trash and junkyards and things like that. But all the places on the board, on the track, are revealed ahead of time, so you know what they are. You get to choose how many spaces you're moving on your turn. So you move exactly where you want to go and collect the things you want to collect to get your things done. The only thing that might be considered unlucky is if somebody else is already on a space that you want, you have to pay them a piece of cheese to go share the space with them. That's very minimal luck. Okay, so you're actually making all the decisions about what you do to get your rat to the moon. And that's my pick, First Rat.
That's a good one. I do love that game. All right, my top pick is Alchemists.
Oh.
It's a game where there is some luck involved. I mean, you never know what cards are going to show up for ingredients, but as alchemists, it's almost like Sudoku, where you're trying to figure out which patterns make which type of potions. And then once you're pretty clear, because each potion can only be made one way. So you're looking like, so if this is in this, and this has this effect, it must be this then. You're doing an elimination strategy on that. And once you're pretty clear, like I think I can go ahead and publish these theories. You can gain points for publishing the correct answer first. And so you can use an app, or you can use another player to help you decide, what is the correct answers. We tend to use the app because we both want to play. But I love this game. It is Alchemists.
It's a deductive reasoning game.
Deductive reasoning.
Yeah.
It is.
Game of elimination. Yeah, I love all those games that we talked about today.
Yeah, I do too. That's why we still own those games. So that was our top 5, in no particular order, of games that are more strategy than luck. And let us know in the comments what you like. Anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah, we want to know if you prefer a game with less luck and more strategy or more perception, or if you like luck and you like to roll the dice, you know. But if you're going to play First Rat, leave your D20 at home because you don't need it.
You don't need dice in that game. All right. So with that, thank you so much for joining us. I'm the Elusive Bigfoot.
And I'm Onezie.
Thanks so much. Bye.